Hey, Shalawam, Shalawam. First and foremost, facing the east, giving all praises, honor, and glory be to the Heavenly Father and His Son by way of the Holy Spirit. Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Barak. Those are the true names of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Yahawah equals He is, He exists. That's the Father's true name. Yahawashi equals He saves, He delivers. That's the Son's true name. And Barak is how you say a spirit holy, a spirit set apart in all. And this is in Lashwan Kodash, the holy language, the holy tongue, also known as the Paleo-Hebrew, the ancient Hebrew. All right. Second of all, double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of the great millstone, who true well and teach well and sincerity taught us this truth. Shalawam, Shalawam. To the Lord's hopeful elect. It's your brother Urami Kazak back with hopefully another edifying lesson through the spirit, power, and strength of Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Barak. As always, man. This one is going to be entitled No Grudges, okay? Along the lines of brotherly love, loving the brotherhood, things of that nature, and you know, we don't hold no grudges in this thing of ours, okay? This is far different than what you was accustomed to in the world, okay? It's a brotherhood that's far superior. Okay, so we're going to start over in the book of, let's go to Exodus. All right. Let me see. Let me go get this. It's a particular scripture. Well, we'll start in Leviticus. Yeah, we'll just start at Leviticus 19. All right, at the top. Okay. You have a question? Yeah, go ahead. Ask your question, bro. Okay. Before we start, go ahead. You have a question? Go ahead. All right. First of all, there ain't no such thing as black people, okay? It's no such thing as black people, right? It's no race of people known as black. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, leave that right there, bro. You know, if you have a particular scripture, you know what I'm saying, and you could bring that up. But other than that, I'm gonna just keep it moving in the lesson, man. You know? All right. So, hey, let's keep it going. Leviticus 19:1. And Yahawah spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto all the congregation of the children of Israel, and say unto them, Ye shall be holy, for I, Yahawah, your power, am holy. So you shall be what? You should be set apart. Let's go into that word, holy, which in the Hebrew, it's Kodash. All right, to be set apart. Kodash. Okay? And it means sacred, holy, holy one, saint, set apart. The Strong states sacred, ceremonially or morally, as noun, powered by eminence and angel, a saint, a sanctuary, holy one, saint. Okay? So you're set apart. Saint is short for what? You're sanctified, you know? And what is that going to? You being pure. So you have to be pure above all things. Now, to be pure is not to be full of bitterness. It's not to be full of hate. It's not to be full of grudges, which the title of this lesson is No Grudges. So how you going to be a saint if you're full of bitterness? You're full of wickedness. You're full of, you always like, you holding on to something. You Erykah Badu bag lady, To hold on to baggage and all of that, that's a female trait in the first place. You understand? That's what women do. They hold on. My last man did me like this. He treated me like this. Blah, blah, blah. Okay? You got all this baggage on you, so you can't recognize what's in front of your face. You understand? So You don't want to be bitter. Let's get that word sacred. I want to go deeper into this, man. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't think our people understand really what holy is. Because you will say you holy, but you be out here doing all this BS, man. Sacred refers to something dedicated, set apart, or reverent as holy. It describes objects, places, or concepts connected to a divine entity, inspiring deep respect, awe, and protection from violation. Okay? So you're deeply connected to who? To Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. That's it. By you being holy, by you being set apart. Right? I got certain stones right here. You know what I'm saying? But, hey, I take this one. I take this amethyst. Okay? I take it over here with me. Now it's set apart from the other stones that I have. You understand? Now it's holy. It's not in the box with everything else. You see? I set it apart. So I'm dealing with it. Us, as a nation, we are set apart. We are the 12 tribes of Israel. So all of us, we are set apart. We are a holy nation in general. This is the chosen nation. You understand? And then in the midst of this nation, you have more holy men who are furthermore set apart. And that's what you know is the remnant, the elect, all right? The 144,000 and the 1/3. So you need to be set apart. You need to be holy. You don't need to be in up all the trends, in with the world, because that's how certain emotions and grudges and issues and drama comes to be. You know? Hey, me in the world or in the truth, never liked the drama. Never was around the drama. You bringing drama, I'm not really going to deal with you. All right? Just in my spirit. So I don't want to be. I want to be set apart. I don't want to be around that NIGGA energy. You understand? It's a certain energy that our people bring that we don't have to be around. And you be like, well, what are you talking? Man, look, man. We on a different standard, bro. I don't got to tolerate bullshit. You understand? And you need to be the same way. Not tolerating bullshit. Not tolerating all this hoobla that our people be bringing. All the drama and the issues. Because we are told to be sacred, to be holy, to be set apart. Okay? Verse 3, Leviticus 19. Ye shall fear every man his mother and his father, and keep my Sabbaths. I am Yahawah your power. So not only do you honor thy mother and thy father, you fear every other brother of your nation, man. You fear brothers. You treat brothers correctly and properly, regardless if they calling on the name or not, man. Just because somebody calling on JC or whatever, that don't mean you have rights to belittle and destroy that person, okay? You keep it calm. You keep it peaceful, as the scripture states. All right? You want to be peaceful with all men. So who are you to belittle somebody just because, they own this and they own that? Now, if they bug out, they continue and they push the issue, then yeah, rebuke them and correct them, et cetera, et cetera. But we're not here to mock and pick on people. I'm not about to be a mocker and a scoffer to a false religion. Come on, man. We have the truth. So we stand in a ruling class mentality as royal men, knowing that we have something far more precious than these individuals have. You understand? I'm sitting over here with gold. Why am I going to go and pick on people that got silver? Well, for what point, bro? Okay? We have something far more precious than what they have. You understand? As Charles Barkley say, man, I never shoot down. I never shoot down. I'm not going to shoot down. You can't accept this truth. The Most High willed it for you not to accept it. He made it where you can't get it. I'm not about to sit here and beat at a brick wall and try to get you to get it, man. Nah, man. That's not the point. Okay? So I fear every man, his mother, his father, and I keep my Sabbaths. I keep the Sabbaths. Okay? Of Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. Because let's say you get into it with somebody, they don't know the truth, and you getting into it with them, and boom, 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 and they get carnal, and they pull out a pew pew, and now, they take you out. All right? You fed into that demon. These people are extremely carnal. Don't you understand that? They're not on the standard that you are on. That's why it's a saying in Stoicism, anger is your energy given away. You understand? You're giving people energy when you get angry at them. I'm not giving energy away. So you can't make me angry. I don't care what you say, how you do. You wasn't raised how I was raised. You don't have the morals I have. You don't have the integrity. You don't have the characteristics. You're not on that level. Okay? So I'm not about to sit here and give my energy to you, regardless what you say or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not about to sit here and let nobody make me mad. Right? So it goes back to you, to the Father, not being an author of confusion, doing everything decently and in order. And you must be the same way. That's a part of you being holy, being set apart, being sacred. You carry yourself in a certain standard, right? And we don't tolerate any BS. You see this individual right here. This list is wrong. Okay, well, guess what? We don't have to, carry you out up in here. I'm not about to go forth and expand on it and break it down because I've done it many times, right? So we let you go. We're not here to prove a point to anybody. You understand? I'm teaching a specific lesson. So if you don't have the ability to pay attention on what the lesson is, then you already showing me that you a child, right? You don't have the ability to focus on what we're talking about today, which is no grudges. You over here in La La Land talking about lollipops and candlesticks, when we talking about no grudges. So your attention span is that of a 3-year-old. Verse 4, turn ye not unto idols, nor make to yourselves molten gods. I am Yahawah your power. What is an idol? Like JC, Jesus Christ? That's an idol. Now, if you don't comprehend that in the first, then you need to go and do your research. When did the name Jesus come around? When did the letter J, when was it created? 1524. When was the name Jesus put into the Bible? Around the 1800s. Okay? So if you do that research and you find that out, then you'll find out that your slave masters, okay, your slave masters placed that name in the Bible, and now they got you calling upon that. They beat it into you. Okay? Jesus was in the what? The 1611 Bible, and that means he saves. That goes back to Yahawashi, which is Hebrew, the correct name. So Yahawah and Yahawashi are the correct and proper names of the Father and the Son, man. Right? So that right there is the proper and correct names. We don't worship. We're not going for. I'm not putting no cross around my neck. What's the point of that? Our king died on the cross. So I'm about to put the weapon that killed him on a cross? No. That's a graven image, man. You got individuals that kiss the cross. They kiss the cross. They do that up, and they kiss their cross. What is that? You worshiping that cross, man. Okay? So we're not doing those type of things. We're not bowing down to these type of things. Verse 5. And if ye offer a sacrifice of peace of offerings unto Yahawah, your power, ye shall offer it at your own will. It shall be eaten the same day ye offer it, and on the morrow, and if aught remain until the third day, it shall be burnt in the fire. It's a certain way that we do things. It's a certain way that we carry things out. You're cooking something in the name of Yahawah, right? You must eat it on that day of. Okay, the Passover lamb. You eat the Passover lamb that night. If some remains in the morning, you throw it out. Okay, that's how the ceremony is brought out in Leviticus, the 23rd chapter. Okay, in Exodus, the 12th chapter. Okay, it's a certain way to do these things. Okay, you can't keep the Passover lamb sitting in the refrigerator all week. No, it's for a specific purpose. right? Verse 8, therefore everyone that eateth it shall bear his iniquity, because he or have profaned the hollow thing of Yahawah, and that soul shall be cut off from among his people. These things, these simple instructions are violated, and therefore you're charged with a charge, because this is a court. You understand? You're being judged your whole life. So you get charges placed upon you. And that's what? That's known as a sin. All right? So you need to start looking at life like that. Like, this is a court case, and you're on trial, and ultimately your deeds are going to be judged. Okay? You're in a court case. Who's the ultimate judge? Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. All right, let's get a precept upon that. This is Matthew 28. And if you're taking notes, write this down. Matthew 28, 18, and 19. And Yahawashi, because we just broke down, it wouldn't be Jesus. Okay? It would be Yahawashi, his true name in the Hebrew. And Yahawashi came and spake unto them, saying, all power is given unto me in heaven and on earth. Go ye therefore and teach all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit. As we broke down in the beginning of the lesson, that's Yahawah, that's the Father's name, that means he is. Yahawashi, that's the Son's name, that means he saves. And Rakakwadash is how you say Holy Spirit. All right? So we baptize in those names. Baptizing doesn't mean I'm dumping you in water. I'm baptizing right now via the internet. So I'm teaching a lesson. I'm teaching you something. I'm breaking it down to you. I'm giving you certain scriptures. Brothers on the comment board are giving you certain scriptures as well. They're relaying to you. They're letting you know. You can write all this stuff down, and you should study. You don't just get baptized in one day. It's a continuing process, man. It's ongoing. Okay? I don't allow nobody to come up unless you're actually of my brethren. All right, so don't send no requests anymore. So Yahawashi has been given all power to what? To judge. And once again, this lesson is on no grudges. Okay, we'll take questions at the end of the lesson. And I say that just to weed out individuals that really don't care, because you're not going to stay to the end of the lesson. Now, if you stay to the end of the lesson, I'll answer all your questions. All right. But you got to give me enough respect to stay through the lesson. You know what I'm saying? So let's go back to Leviticus, the 19th chapter. Because a lot of you people is just in here, y'all not really serious, man. You know, at the end of the day. So this is Leviticus 19 and 9. And when ye reap the harvest of your land, thou shalt not wholly reap the corners of thy field, neither shalt thou gather the gleanings of thy harvest. And thou shalt not glean thy vineyard, neither shalt thou gather every grape of thy vineyard. Thou shalt leave them for the poor and stranger. I am Yahawah your power. So at the end of the day, you should leave behind scraps. You should leave behind grapes. You shouldn't take everything. Now, Esau goes forth and takes everything. He doesn't leave anything behind for the poor. He doesn't care about the poor and the oppressed. He is the oppressor. He goes forth and beats down his individuals. Why is that? Because he holds a grudge. Let's go to Amos 1 and 11. Thus saith Yahawah, for 3 transgressions of Edom, and for 4, I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because he did pursue his brother with the sword, and did cast off all pity, and his anger did tear perpetually, and he kept his wrath forever. So he holds a grudge forever. He keeps his wrath upon us forever. This is why the YT man has established ICE, and he's going forth and knocking up the heads of the Northern Kingdom, which is your Latinos and your Native Americans, and also coming upon the Southern Kingdom, which is so-called Haitians, so-called West Indians, so-called Negroes. You understand? So this is what this individual is doing. Let's go to Ezekiel 35 and 5. because thou hast had a perpetual hatred. That's a grudge. And hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. Therefore, as I live, saith Yahawah power, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Sith thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. Thus will I make Mount Seir most desolate, and cut off from it him that passeth out, and him that returneth. Now, do you know where Mount Seir is? Let's break this down, all right, for a better understanding. Edom, which is the so-called YT man's nation, okay? And you have Mount Seir there, all right? So, do they live there anymore? No. Where do the Edomites live? They live in France. They live in the UK. They live in Russia. They live in Germany. They live in America. They live in Australia. They live everywhere. They took over the world, okay? So, this is talking about wherever they dwell. Mount Seir. Okay, their chief place and their chief city is Washington, D.C. Okay, that's known as the Basra of Edom, their chief city. All right, so he's going to handle these Edomites, man. All right, at the end of the day, once again, I'm answering questions at the end of the lesson. If you want to be helpful and support, just sit back and listen, man. Just sit back and listen. We're going to answer a lot of your questions while we're teaching. Let's get this real quick as we continue. All right, this is Ecclesiastes 5:1 through 3. Keep thy foot when thou goest to the house of power, and be more ready to hear than to give the sacrifice of fools, for they consider not that they do evil. So be more ready to hear. Just listen, man. Be not rash with thy mouth, and let not thine heart be hasty to utter anything before power, for power is in heaven and thou upon earth. Therefore let thy words be few. For a dream cometh through the multitude of business, and a fool's voice is known by multitude of words. I understand the way that the Americans have taught you is to be haste, and you want it now, because your dopamine levels are high. You're used to getting everything automatic with Google, with AI, with the internet, with social media. Your reward system is messed up, okay? And that's not real life. So the YT man has you on a program that's not real life, all right? Furthermore, I'm going to give one more precept because the scriptures tell you different, okay? This is James 1:19. Wherefore, my beloved brethren, let every man be swift to hear, slow to speak, slow to wrath. Okay? So, be swift to hear, slow to speak, slow to wrath. So, hold your questions. And, hey, I got moderators in here. They'll answer your questions if they see fit. Okay? We do things decently in order over here. Now, let's get back to the lesson about no grudges. So, as we broke down with Amos 1:11, Esau holds a grudge perpetually. Ezekiel 35:5 and 6, Esau holds a grudge perpetually. They hold hatred towards us forever. You understand? The Most High is going to judge them for that. He's going to ultimately destroy them at the end of the 1,000-year reign. Now, back in Leviticus, the 9th chapter, verse 11, ye shall not steal, neither deal falsely, neither lie one to another. What have the Edomites done, throughout their entire, life? Okay? They have went forth and stolen, went forth and been bandits upon the earth. They've colonized everything. They've took over everything. They've stolen lands. Let's get that. This is Micah 2:1 and 2. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand. And they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage. All right. So you see that? You see what they're doing. This is what they do constantly. They oppress a man and his heritage. This is why you can't go back 5 generations and understand who you are. You know what I'm saying? Now, because y'all can't control yourself in the comment boards, I got to take the comments off. All right? That's going to weed out people that really want to be in here and people that don't. People that's just here for entertainment. All right? So, hey, proceed to leave now. All right? So let's break this down furthermore. Micah 2:1. Woe to them. That means destruction. To them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. Beds is symbolizing rest. That's a position of rest. You go to bed to rest. So the Edomites are in a position of rest right now where they can chill out. They have private islands. They got yachts. They rule countries. They're presidents. They got Congress. They're making money continuously. You know what I'm saying? They're chilling out. So they're in a position of rest, but they're working evil upon their beds. This is why Kill Gates is sitting over here giving you fake meat, synthetic meat, Impossible Burger, Beyond Burger, okay, which is destroying you and breaking you down. And he's calling it vegan, but it's not helping you, okay? It's actually benefits to eating real meat. It's benefits to eating beef. You get a lot of iron and protein from it. It helps you. That's why the Most High, Yahawah, ordained for us to eat the beef. Okay? Hey, look at the, you know, we done lost 7 people already. That's beautiful. All right? If you were just in here to run your mouth in the comments, continue to leave. I love it. So, destruction to those people because they work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, soon as the sun come up, they what? They practice it because it is in the power of their hand just because they can. They're evil and wicked to you just because they can. They charge taxes. All right. They give you GMO foods. They put chemtrails in the sky just because they can. They teach your kids mode activity. Okay. They put all this sexual content in the entertainment, in the music, and the TV shows just because they can. And they overstimulate. We are over-sexualized. You understand? Sex didn't used to be like that. It used to be a sacred thing. Back in the 40s, the 50s, the 60s. No, you would never see a woman how they are now wearing half, man, they basically naked. Especially in the summertime. You would never see that back in the day. Okay? So, hey, you ask yourself that question. Has it gotten worse or has it gotten better? All right? You got to worry about, you know, these women out here, they have they're harlots, basically. OnlyFans, a woman talking about she got men, you know, she's got multiple men. What does that bring? That brings STDs, STIs, yeast infections, all this type of stuff. And then you looking for a girl out here and you don't know if she got the house in Virginia or not. Okay, she might have the herpes. She might have the chlamydia. She might have whatever. Because that's just how they getting down, man. Everybody's passing around that Fanta. And when I say that, I mean the H thing. And I mean the house in Virginia. And I mean all that stuff that they got from Houston. They passing around that Fanta. All right? And they don't care. Okay? So this is because the society is ruled in wickedness. So therefore the YT man has pushed out that vibration. So when they wake up, when the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand. And they covet fields and take them by violence and houses. They saw that Gad, which is the Northern American Indians, okay? They saw all the land that they had in America. They saw the Cherokee. They saw the Sioux. They saw, you know, the Creek. They saw the Mississippians. They saw the Californians. They saw all these individuals chilling and living off the land, hunting buffalo, etc., etc. What did Esau do? He went forth and unalived all the buffalo. Okay, now you only got buffalo that's in captivity. You have no wild buffalo in America anymore because Esau hunted them all down. That's why you got a team in the NFL called the Buffalo Bills, named after a buffalo hunter named Buffalo Bill, who unalived thousands of buffaloes, man. You know, they just gave my live a restriction. Okay, I don't know what I said. You know, I'm gonna watch my language, but I didn't cuss. I didn't say anything crazy, but hey, it is what it is. Maybe somebody reporting the live. Hey, Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi gonna get you for that. All right? Trust and believe that. So they went forth and saw that it was good, and they took it all over. They saw the resources, the land. It was much gold in America. It was much gold in South America. Who came and took over that? The Spanish, which are Edomites, the French, the British, the Dutch, and the Portuguese. These are all Edomites. You understand? I mean, this stuff is highly documented, man. Okay? It's highly documented. Look up the colonization of North America and South America. Like, we're not lying right here. All right? Okay? They came and colonized this land that was already lived on by your Puerto Ricans, which are Ephraim, your Cubans, which is Manasseh, your North American Indians, which is Gad, your Seminole Indians, which is Reuben, your Argentinians to Chileans, which is Naphtali, your Colombians to Uruguayans, also Brazil, which is Asher, your Mexicans, which is Issachar. All right? Your Guatemalans to Panamanians, which is Zebulon, your Dominicans, which is Simeon. So your Aztecs, your Incas, your Mayans, you know, these are Israelites. They were already living here. So that's robbery. So what is that? They covert fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage. Because they hold a grudge. They're forever gonna hunt us down. We went 5,000, 4,000 miles, however far it is from England, UK, you know, Europe, Africa, to America. We went way over here. The Northern Kingdom did. And the Edomites tracked us down using the scriptures, because they use 2nd Esdras, the 13th chapter. All right, the 40th verse going down with it lets you know that we came over here. All right, that's in the Bible, that we came to the Americas. So they found that in the scriptures, and they was like, all right, we got to go get them, due to a perpetual hatred, man. Wherever we go on this planet, they coming to get us. So if you have that mindset of you're going to escape America and you're going to go, I don't know, you're going to go to Santorini, Greece. All right, you're going to go to, you know, wherever you think you're going to go. You're going to go to China. You're going to go to Australia. Guess what? The white T man is going to be there. He's going to be there. All right, it's a part of those curses, man. You know what I'm saying? It's a part of those curses. Let's get a couple curses, and then let's get back to Leviticus, the 19th chapter. All right. This is Deuteronomy 28 and 28. Yahawah shall smite thee with madness and blindness and astonishment of heart, and thou shalt grope at noonday as the blind gropeth in darkness, and thou shalt not prosper in thy ways, and thou shalt be only oppressed and spoiled evermore, and no man shall save thee. Okay? So this is a curse that's on our people right now, and this curse cannot be lifted until the King Yahawashi returns. That's the only way we're going to be took from these curses, man. As long as we live on this planet, we will be under these curses until our King comes and rescues us. So that's what we're waiting on. That's where our righteousness resides. That's where our hope is. That's where our faith is. We got to keep the commandments, all right, to the best of our ability. It's like doing what we can, and we keep the faith in Yahawashi. Let's get that. All right, that's in Revelations 14 and 12. Here is the patience of the saints. We broke down a saint is sanctified, holy, kodash, set apart, sacred, right? So that's what a saint is. That's talking about the 1/3 of our nation. The people that get it, the people that want to serve Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. Here is the patience of the saints. Here are they that keep the commandments of Yahawah and the faith of Yahawashi. So these are the qualifications. The commandments is what? The doctrine, the understanding, the laws, the statutes. You're keeping what you can, because we understand we in captivity. So you may have to work on the Sabbath. You may be wearing motar fabrics. You know, man, you got to do certain things. You may have to cook on the Sabbath. You down to your last meal. You understand? So it's certain things we understand, but what you can keep is no sex on the Sabbath. What you can keep is no adultery, no stealing, no murder. You can honor thy mother and father. You can do these things, man. You can keep what you can keep. What you can't keep, he already knows that you can't keep it because this devil has set it up to be like that. You understand? So it's all understandable. Put forth an effort and do what you can, and don't make no sorry excuses. Oh, I had to eat that pork. I had to eat that shrimp yesterday. It was just too good. That was something that you could have kept. So that was lust and temptation that got you. That wasn't, no, you didn't have to eat no shrimp. You didn't have to eat no pork. You understand? So telling and making these excuses and then doing that, going eat pork and then trying to repent afterwards, ain't nobody hearing that shit. Ain't nobody hearing that. Okay? You need to control your body. You need to control your lust. You need to control your flesh. Okay? So we got to keep those commandments to the best of our ability and the faith of Yahawashi. All right? That's extremely important. So you do have to live via a certain standard. All right? Get a little bit more in the curses. And furthermore, key is, thou shalt be only oppressed and spoiled evermore. What we go to work, we are oppressed. We pay taxes, we are oppressed. We pay registration, license, property taxes, car taxes, all this type of stuff. We are oppressed. We are heavily oppressed. Check to check, bill to bill, bills piling up, you know, stuff piling up on our head, et cetera, man. Most of our people live in slums, live in poverty, live in the hood, low income, all right, Section 8, you know what I'm saying? All this type of stuff, man. So we are oppressed. We are not a people. We are a beautiful people, and we are a superior people in knowledge and understanding and all of that, but we are in a low estate. You can see through the NBA, through the NFL, yeah, we're physically superior. You can see through all these inventions that we're mentally superior. All right? Jakes, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, we built the planet. Your stoplight, your refrigerator, your microwave, your car, your cell phone, your internet, we created all of that. All right? All of this stuff that you see, we created all of that. But we don't get no credit, you know? We don't have the patents. We're not making money from it. You understand? We're in a low position. That goes forth to the next one, man. Thou shalt betroth a wife, and another man shall lie with her. Thou shalt build an house, and thou shalt not dwell therein. These corporations that these Edomites have, where they're making money off of stuff that we created. All right? We created peanut butter, but is a black man getting paid off of Jiffy? Okay, is a black man getting paid off of Peter Pan? I used to eat Peter Pan as a kid like crazy. Are we getting paid off of that? No. We created that though. We discovered it. But we ain't getting paid off of that. So we built the house and we don't even get to dwell in it. Okay? Thou shalt plant a vineyard and shall not gather the grapes thereof. That's talking about corporations. You may start a business. All right, you got to pay all these business taxes, et cetera, and then, hey, you got your business, boom, boom, boom. You give it to your kids, and it get took away. So it's vanity at the end of the day. It's not going to be everlasting, such as like a Ford. You know, Ford gave his business to his son, and that continued. Chevy did the same thing. Like, their businesses continue, because they're not under those curses. So they're able to come and establish themselves and set themselves up in this planet because they rule the planet at this point in time. Job 9:24, the earth is given into the hands of the wicked, right? So we are under those curses, and Esau holds a grudge to us. So it's like a double axe that's coming down on us, right? That's why going back to Micah 2, and I'll bring the comments back, man. All right. I'll bring the comments back. Going back to Micah 2, okay. This is not your rest, Jake. Okay. This is Micah 2:10. Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. It shall destroy you even with a sore destruction. So if you're trying to make it in this land, man, all right, you're trying to you want that white picket fence, you want that dream, that American dream and things of that nature, it ain't gonna happen. This is not it. This is not your rest. Okay? So going back to Leviticus 19 chapter, verse 12. And ye shall not swear by my name falsely, neither shall thou profane the name of thy power. I am Yahawah. You don't play with the name of Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. It's not to be played with. You're not to take it in vain. You're not to be out here talking about how IUIC leaders said, yo play yogurt, or yabba dabba doo. Bruh, you crazy. That's why the spirit is not with you, because you playing with the Father's name. You understand? So once again, you hallow the name. All right? The name is extremely important. So you hallow it. You reverence it. When you call upon it, you're serious. It's not something you play with. You don't nicknames. Ain't no Yah. It's Yahawah. It's power in that name. Why would you not say it all? I never say APTTMH. We're holy, man. We're set apart. I'm not shorting nothing. Ain't no shortcuts. Ain't no nicknames. I'm saying Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. Every single time, man. All right? There ain't no shortcuts, man. Okay? I got you out. Malachi 2:2. And it reads, if you will not hear, and you will not lay it to heart to give glory unto my name, saith Yahawah of hosts, I will even send a curse upon you, and I will curse your blessings. Yea, I have cursed them already, because ye do not lay it to heart. You understand? All right? Hey, the water to the brother Nashar. That's a beautiful precept. Right? So you got to keep that name, man. You got to keep that name in that doctrine. You got to keep it on your inside, on your inward parts. You got to really love it. You can't be out here faking. If you faking, the Most High already sees it. All right? And he's gonna show you. Okay? So verse 13, keeping it going. Thou shalt not defraud thy neighbor, neither rob him. The wages of him that is hired shall not abide with thee all night until the morning. Hey, you owe a brother, pay a brother, man. That's how we say in the South. You owe that man, pay that man. All right, off the rip. Don't be like, man, I'm going to pay you next week. I'm going to pay you. No. The correct way of payment in the old world, in the ancient world, and it's going to come back in the kingdom, is you get paid that day for what you did. You worked $80 worth. You get paid that day. That's a day's wage. So you get paid. It ain't no wait until the middle of the month to get your check, or wait until the end of the month to get your check. That's wicked. That ain't right. Give me my wages, man. Give me my paper. Okay? So you owe a man, you pay that man. We're going to run. Yeah, we're going to, of course, yeah, we're going to have slaves and things of that nature, but we're still going to run this kingdom the right way. Our employees, our servants, they're going to get paid that day. They're going to get paid on that day. Okay? We're going to run our kingdom in a righteous sense. These heathens are going to know a greater life than they ever knew under these Edomites. So you're going to get paid the exact day and for what you worked. Okay? Righteousness is coming back to this earth. The old paths. And I can't wait, man. All right? So you don't, and then furthermore with like, let's say a brother borrows $50 from you. You don't charge him $70 back. No, it's $50 he got to pay you back. That's it. You ain't trying to make money and invest off of your brother. You're not trying to charge usury. We don't charge usury, interest. That's wicked. If you have that mindset in you and you doing that to brothers, that's wicked. That's what the banks do. That's what the Edomites do in these banks. That's why America, they owe about 37 trillion. All right? 37, 36 trillion, around that. So you can see how their system is extremely wicked because they charge interest, usury. We don't do that. We move in righteousness. Because if I do that to you, I don't want you doing that to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't do that to you because I don't want you doing that to me. Right? So you treat others how you want to be treated. Yo, I need $50. Hey, let me get that. I'm going to give you this back next Wednesday. All right, I give you back 50. Let's say you need 50. You give me 50. I give you 50. You give me that back next Wednesday. Boom, boom, boom. All right. Now, if you want to be nice, you want to be kind or whatever, and give me 60 or 70 back, then that's you. But all I require is 50 back. That's it. No more, no less. All right. Keeping it going. Verse 14. Thou shalt not curse the deaf, nor put a stumbling block before the blind, but shall fear thy power. I am Yahawah. You look at how IUIC teaches certain times, man. If you see these individuals, they'll pick on people. They love to pick on people, and that's wicked. All right? They're very high-minded. Where your fringes at, brother? What? You don't know? It's the Sabbath today, blah, blah, blah. They love to point people out and pick on them. That's why they got their ass beat in Kenya. Because them Hamites wasn't going for it. You don't do that mess, bro. You don't sit there and belittle people. You understand? They're not going for that, bro. You got to teach with a certain amount of class, a standard, and not being high-minded and not belittling people. Nobody wants to be belittled and yelled at and all of that. Now, it's a time when, you may have to raise your voice and all of that. That comes when it comes. But we're not sitting here belittling or nothing. We're sitting here trying to teach how good teachers do. We're adjusting, and we're trying to reach you where you're at, the level that you're on. You got questions? Hey, we take them at the end. We might take them at the beginning. We're going to be there for you. We're showing respect. That's going back to fearing fear every brother, thy mother, thy father, thy sister, etc., etc. So we teach with that understanding. I don't care if you come up and you saying Jesus, I'm still going to try to reach you and teach you the correct name. If you don't get it, then I'm going to apply Titus 3:10 ultimately. But in the initial conversation, I'm going to try to break down and get you to understand it. Because I'm trying to, I got to try the spirit. You have to try the spirit, man. You don't know. All right. Verse 15. Ye shall do no unrighteousness in judgment. Thou shalt not respect the person of the poor, nor honor the person of the mighty, but in righteousness shalt thou judge thy neighbor. You should treat a homeless individual the same way that you treat a CEO, So that goes into you not allowing money and things of that nature. You won't sell out. All right? Because money can't buy you. Materials can't change you. You're not here for material. You're not carnal. Let's get a precept. Because this right here, many people are, man. This is Romans 8:6. For to be carnally minded is death, but to be spiritually minded is life and peace. Because the carnal mind is enmity against power, for it is not subject to the law of power, neither indeed can be. Because if you're carnal, then, hey, I come up. I'm like, man, hey, bro, I give you this amethyst, bro. You know, just start saying the name Jesus. Oh yeah, let me get that. JC. That's how these dudes look, man. These dudes talking about some Most High Christ bless. That's how they look. Or ISUPK talking about Christ. You took a bid, bro. You took a bag. And now you're teaching different. You understand? Yeah, TGC. Talking about Gentiles can be saved. All right? They took a bag. And we all can see it if you have the Holy Spirit, if you have the understanding, if you have the discernment. You can recognize. Why did you go from saying Yahawah, why Yahawashi, to saying Yahweh and Yeshua? That's crazy. When you know it's no E, O, U, or V in the Hebrew. That's been broken down to you. That brother, Hassad, that brother was in Great Millstone, man. All right? He was around my elders, man. All right? I believe him, Hassad. The one with whichever one got the G-Wagon. All right? The elders always talking about his goofy ass. You know? He was around. Okay? So he got the correct understanding. He got the proper breakdowns. But he just took it upon himself to go off, to go wicked, to go with Sakari, and now TGC, and to be like that. All right? So it's not like these brothers don't know the truth. It's the fact that they teach against the truth on purpose. That's extremely wicked, man, because they're carnal-minded. They're seeking after riches. So keeping it going, and that's them judging unrighteousness. They're doing unrighteousness in judgment. All right? Because they're going to Esau, which is the mighty, he's rich, and they're honoring him. All right? All right? So that's how they move, and they move off of money. Verse 16, we about done, man. We're going to get a couple more, we just going down. All right? Thou shalt not go up and down as a talebearer among the people, neither shalt thou stand against the blood of thy neighbor. I am Yahawah. You don't want to go forth, and being a talebearer is like slandering a brother, man. Being a liar, going forth saying this and saying that, and trying to bring drama and issues with an individual. It's a certain way that things shall be handled. If it's an issue, you got to be a man and address one another. You got to come and talk. Okay? You got certain brothers, they may go around each other's back and run to whoever. All right? You got brothers that'll go to your elder before they even come to you. That's crazy. And that right there is not the correct way to do things. Because it's like, man, I got a little sister, man. She'd go and tell on me. It's like, I'm like, damn. If I was wrong or right. I remember my sister tried to tell on me because I rap, right? And I was saying the N-word in a song. And she tried to tell on me to my mama. And my mama heard the song and she said, well, he's saying it in an intelligent way. Because I was like saying it like picking on niggas. I wasn't saying it like, but I was saying it like, blah, blah, blah. These dudes are some niggas because they ignorant or whatever. You get with the point. And she tried to tell on it, and then it backfired on her. That's how Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi do. So you run around trying to be a talebearer and make all these lies. And, hey, yeah, that brother wicked, man. That brother, that brother gonna fall out, blah, blah, blah. But the brother's still standing strong and coming forth and teaching and preaching and doing what he's supposed to do, et cetera, et cetera. You never went and talked to the brother. You don't know what's really going on in his life. All right? This social media shit, bro, you don't know. Okay? So you need to holler. All right? At the end of the day, man. Communication is key. That's why, it's better to, that's why I encourage individuals to go to camp, to, be at camp, et cetera, et cetera. It's better in person. Everything is better in person versus some internet shit. Right? I'm more in tune with brothers at my camp than I am, with, hey, I love y'all brothers on here, most definitely. But brothers at my camp, I see them every weekend. So, I go out with them, eat, drink, it's more personal. And it's like I'm fucking with you, cause I'm there with you. Hey, we gotta fight. I'm fighting with you. That's how it is. I feel that bond. It's a similar bond that I felt in the military. We had to fight. I had to fight with some brothers. I'm willing to fight with my brothers, and that's what we doing on them corners is fighting. You know what I'm saying? So it's important to be in person with it. For brothers that have camps that are near and close to them. You know what I'm talking about. It's important to be in person with it and not just be on the internet with it. All right. Verse 16. We just read that. Verse 17. Thou shalt not hate thy... And I'm going to get y'all precepts, man, and we're going to wrap it up. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart. Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor and not suffer sin upon him. Okay? This goes into you not holding grudges. You're not holding no hate. You're not holding that bitterness. Because bitterness boils up and it becomes more bitterness. And it eventually turns into an action or an emotion, which is a demon. That's how demons creep in. Emotions are portals for demons. So bitterness, hate, you feel like an individual did you wrong or whatever. This is why you got to be a man and you got to talk these things out. You got to address these things before they turn into massive demons. This is what you do. Like with parasites, man. You address parasites early on before they get out of control and they grow massive. You got some individuals, they eat pork all their life. They got a damn 23-inch parasite going from their butt to their brain. And that's the shit that killed them. They wondering why they always hungry. Because you never address that parasite in you. That's how bitterness is. That's how hatred for a brother is. Okay? You got to address these things in the beginning, man. Okay? Yeah, I got you. I got you. All right? So you got to address these things, man. Verse 18, thou shalt not avenge, nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people, but thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. I am Yahawah. Let's say you got an individual, he calling on Yahweh, Yeshua, whatever. Hey, you try to break it down to them. Titus 3 and 10, they can't get it. 2 admonitions. Let them step. I'm not about to chase after you, man. What is this? I'm not chasing after you. I'm not chasing a female. All right. She reject me. It is what it is. Hey, bitch, I know my worth. I got self-esteem. I got self-confidence. You don't know what you're missing. You understand? I'm not chasing. I'm not chasing after a scoffer. Man, I got to make you believe, brother. No, man. Fuck that. All right. At the end of the day, in both of those situations, Yahawah put the spirit on that individual to not get it. He put the spirit on that girl to not get me because she's so worldly that she could never attach to this. You understand? And this individual, this scoffer is so worldly that he could never attach to this truth. You understand? So you just chalk it up like that. Okay? We gonna have it all in the kingdom. Just wait on that. We might be ugly right now. Cool. I'm cool with being it. Right? Guess what? I got this truth. You could be Denzel or whatever, the epitome of beauty or whatever that shit is in this world. The prophets was never pretty guys, man. Alright? That shit weak to me, man. We rough men. We austere men. We strict men. Okay? All right. So let's get that Sirach 19. We're going to end it over there. Wait a minute. Let me see. I thought I saw another one. We get that Titus. We'll start with the Philippians that the brother in the show I put up. And we'll just go down the line and get all 3 of those. So it's Philippians 3 and 15 through 19. Let us therefore, as many as be perfect, be thus minded. And if in anything ye be otherwise minded, power shall reveal even this unto you. Nevertheless, whereto we have already attained, let us walk by the same rule. Let us mind the same thing. So, all Taking it back a couple lessons when the brother Amana Wa'ala was like, man, I thought you hated me. Nah, like, bro, I'm moving off whatever the Bible says, I'm moving off of that. So I would hope and pray that another brother is moving off the same. You know, we moving off whatever the scripture states, right? So it ain't no hate, it ain't no grudge with any brothers. I don't got no hate, no animosity with any brothers. Shit happens, whatever. Like, hey, my shit happened with Yasharahla. What happened? We talked it out. We chopped it up. We fixed, you know? I was mad at the brother a little bit for just some bullshit, you know? And we fixed that up like men. Now I got that brother number. He got my number, you know? Chop it up from time to time. That needed to happen before that could ball out to something bigger. You understand? So that's the manly thing to do, is to communicate and to fix. Because, bro, we not always going to agree 100%. Hey, you know, it may be another way that a brother do something, or he may think that you wrong in this. But then that's why we have to go to the scriptures and have counsel. Such as Peter and Paul had to have counsel. They had to do this. You know, look at the apostles. They was having counsel on who Yahawashi liked the most. It was foolish, but it's that human instinct that's messing with us. It's the flesh that gets to us. You know? Keeping it going. Verse 17. Brethren, be followers together of me, and mark them which walk so as ye have us for an example. For many walk, of whom I have told you often, and now tell you, even weeping, that they are the enemies of the cross of Hamashiach, whose end is destruction, whose power is their belly, and whose glory is in their shame, who mind earthly things. So they're what? They're carnal-minded, going back to that Romans 8. All right? They're extremely carnal. So they're not going to move the same way that we move. So therefore, they're not going to fit in. It's not going to work out, ultimately. And that's going to show, they could blend in for a time period, but that's going to show through time. All right? You know, so just let it show. This is Titus 1 and 2. No, Slakia. This is Titus 1, 10 through 11 from the brother Kakuma. For there are many unruly and vain talkers and deceivers, especially they of the circumcision. So especially individuals that know the names of Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. They know this doctrine. They know this understanding. All right? But they're not here for the same reasons that we are. As we just read, they're not minding the same rule. They're here to sell merchandise. They're here to sell hats. They're here to sell music. They're here to extort the congregation. You know, they're doing all this wickedness. All right, they're here to sell garments. You had certain, I don't know about that situation, but you got individuals that be selling garments. They get the money, but they never send the garments. You know? Or you got brothers out here, they be asking for money, and you know, they continuously ask for money. All right? This is why the order was put out. Hey, Elder Apostle Ramlab did this, I think it was like last week, man. Bro, stuff needs to stay in your camp. This is why you have region heads. You shouldn't be, a brother from North Carolina shouldn't be asking you for money if you live in California. He should be asking the brothers in North Carolina, in the region. Especially if he's in a camp. You know? So for individuals that's in camps, you shouldn't be reaching out to other brothers asking them for money. You need to handle that in your camp. The camp, that right there is a support system that you have in the midst of you. Right? Brothers get together. Hey, I need a ride to camp. Okay, hey, I got you. You know, because we right here. I'm with you. You build that bond right here. You know, you shouldn't be, hey, you know what I'm saying? So it's important to get that realistic bond. You know what I'm saying? Verse 11, whose mouths must be stopped, who subvert whole houses, teaching things which they ought not for filthy lucre's sake. You know? And we going to have those Judases. We going to have those individuals try to come in. And, you know, they do it already. They going to constantly do it. and try to cause division and things of that nature, man. All right? At the end of the day. And those that's gonna survive are gonna survive. You know, look at this brother. He said, "But you didn't read my precept, Malak." Hey, I don't. And that right there, don't be presumptuous. Don't think because I'm not saying you are. I'm playing with you, but don't think that just because somebody don't read your precept, they don't fuck with you. You know. All right. I don't read everybody precept. Everybody don't read. Hey, we doing a lot. I'm trying to get through this lesson. You know. So it is what it is. And that right there, though, that would be a demon, though. It'd be demons like that. Man, that brother ain't read my precept, man. That brother don't like me. That brother ain't read nothing I said. You know, that's how the mind will fuck with you. Because the mind is, let's get that in Jeremiah, man. That's why being a man is like, and it's not just not being emotional and sensitive about everything as well. It's like, bro, you know, because, hey, some brothers may think that, and then that brother ain't even mean that in that type of way that you feeling. Now you over here like a female. You know how a female be? You forgot you forgot what day it was. Bitch, I'm busy. What you mean? I gotta go to work. I gotta go do this. I gotta do that. I'm doing all this. I'm doing all of this shit. You think come on, man. Damn. You know, that's how women be. They be super sensitive and caught up on certain issues. Okay? They're wired different than men. You know what I'm saying? This is Jeremiah 17:9. The heart, which is the mind, is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can know it? Right? Like, hey, I just said the B word, right? You know, it's a woman out there that's gonna get extremely offended that I said the B word, and I was just using that as a phrase. But she's gonna get extremely offended, and she ain't gonna watch my videos no more because I said the B word. Let it be. That's how sensitive women are, bro. And she think I'm talking about her. I'm like, all right, if the shoe fits, then wear that shit. All right. So let's get over to Sirach and let's wrap it up. I'm looking at y'all comments. Y'all funny. This boy said, please, please, please. Like James Brown. Wake up, Yisrael. This the truth. Teach. Hey, somebody help him, man. All right. Hey, but besides saying all that, just tell him it's Yasharahla, bro. Y'all picking on him, but it's Yasharahla, man. Somebody please text Yasharahla. Like, tell him it's Yasharahla. Okay. But hey, man, I'm glad that you the lesson is hitting you. And the brothers in the comments is about to try to help you with your Hebrew and get you on the right path, bro. You know. All right. And that brother right there could be extremely sincere. But he could just been taught the wrong way. Because he's out here saying Yisrael and he's saying Yahudah. You know what I'm saying? So he went down the wrong path. You know what I'm saying? And we trying to, hey, we see a brother like that, we want to direct him in the correct way. You know? So y'all got it in the comments, man. Help that brother out. All right. But let's wrap this up. Let's go to Sirach 19:6 from the brother Shaquat. Salakia. He that can rule his tongue shall live without strife, and he that hateth babbling shall have less evil. Like I said in the world, man, I hated drama. That's how you need to be. You need to hate drama, man. Okay? That's babbling. All this extra talking. You know, a wise man is not going to be the loudest one in the room. He's going to pick his words correctly, and he's going to choose his words properly and carefully. He's going to observe the situation, and he's going to pick a position to talk. Everything is like a sword battle. You understand? You're unguard, boom. You pick in that position when you need to talk, when you need to insert your position. You don't need to always say nothing. Sometimes your silence is powerful. Let your silence be powerful, man. You know, if you think because you need to be heard, that shit ain't necessary. You don't need to be heard, man. Okay? At the end of the day, you got individuals like that's why I took the comments off earlier, because you got all these individuals, they don't know how to James 1:18, how we read. They don't know how to be swift to hear, but slow to speak, slow to wrath. They just want to be heard. They just want to talk. So they have no wisdom. Perfect precept, Proverbs 17:28. Even a fool, when he holdeth his peace, is counted wise. Okay? So it's about having taste, salt with your words, having taste with your speech. You can learn a lot. Let's say you take a chick on a date. Just listen to the shit she talk about. All right? You going to learn a lot from it. You know? She talk about, whatever. You know, I went to Turks and Caicos last summer. Oh, so she one of those. You know? I got a Louis bag. I got red bottoms. So you a materialistic ass bitch. Okay, this ain't gonna work out. I already know this ain't gonna work out. You know? I peep those things. You looking for those red signs. Okay? Like this dude, Ryan. What did I tell you, bro? We take questions at the end of the lesson. You still ain't understand that. So I gotta mute you up, man. I told you. But in your mind, it didn't comprehend. This brother said he take questions at the end of the lesson. But I'ma still ask all these questions. It just didn't comprehend in your mind. So obviously you're not wise. You understand? That's crazy, bro. Just chill out. But once again, people can't sit with themselves. They can't relax. They can't chill. They can't meditate. They don't know how to sit still. This place is so busy. Babylon. It's just go here, do this, do that. Boo, 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 boo. Man, sit down, man. I'm from the country, man. We used to just go out on the porch and sit and feel the wind hit us. And just look. And just relax. And that was peace. Y'all people act like y'all want peace, but you don't never want peace. You always want to do something. You don't want no peace. Stop saying you want peace. All you fake ass women talking about y'all want peace. Y'all don't want no peace. You want a chaotic ass drug dealing boyfriend. That's what you want. And that's what you go after, because a wicked woman is given as a portion to a wicked man. You don't want no 9-to-5 dude that come home. He got a nice little crib. He come home, he take care of you. You don't want that, because he's boring. Y'all don't want boring and peace. You want chaotic, because your fucking soul is chaotic, man. Salaki, all right? Let's get back to it. This is Sirach 9:19 and 7. Rehearse not unto another that which is told unto thee, and thou shalt fare never the worse. Keep a secret. That's loyalty. You should be able to keep. If I tell you something, bro, I don't supposed to hear that in another man's mouth. Okay, that gossip shit. Nah, I told you that in confidence. That right there is friendship. You're building a particular friendship. Okay? You understand? So once you break my trust once, hey man, I'm not gonna hold a grudge on you, but I'm not gonna give you that trust again. I'm not stupid. Once a chick cheat on you once, it's over. She done. I can't fuck with her. You know, you could be a dummy, you could be a simp, and you could keep running back to her. You understand? But I'm not, that's not me. I'm not dumb. I'm going to tell you this. I'm not dumb as you. I'm not dumb as you. You want to go back and deal with her. I'm not about to do it. She had her, that one chance is your only chance. You don't get another chance. You didn't appreciate me. I know my worth, man. All right? And the scripture states that that's adultery. So therefore, the Most High is going to take your ass out unless you repent. And that's the same as this. Rehearse not unto another that which is told unto thee, and thou shalt fare never the worse. You dealing with another man, you only supposed to be with me. You rehearsing this sex is supposed to be between a woman and a man, all right? And only with that woman, okay? In the sense of she's only dealing with that man. That's the only she only supposed to know you, bro, for the rest of her life. She only supposed to know you. She don't supposed to rehearse that with nobody else, ever. Just you. Now, you got women in here right now. You got women that's going to hear this. They going to be like, that's boring. I don't get to experiment. That's because you wicked as fuck. You want to have a whole phase. You want to go experiment. You want to go out here and do multiples. You want to get your sexual experience up. What the hell is that? That's nasty. That's nasty. Exactly, bro. That college experience. Let's pin that. I say that, man. You send your girls to college to become harlots. That's what you do. You send your daughters to college to become harlots. All right? Whether it be to friend or foe, talk not of other men's lives. If thou canst without offense, reveal them not. It used to be a certain sense of honor among men. Whether it be friend or foe, it was honor. Go watch the movie Troy. Okay? Hector fighting Achilles. All right? Achilles destroyed Hector's honor. But his father came to redeem that honor. He wanted to bury his son the proper and correct way. Hector didn't deserve that. You understand? He deserved honor in death. Honor. In the beginning of the movie, Achilles said, hey, maybe one day a king can fight his own battles. We have an honorable king. Exactly. That's a good point, Amana Allah. Hey, that's a point, bro. You hit that. David and Jonathan. They what? Even though Jonathan knew that David was supposed to be king, him and David made a covenant saying that they wouldn't kill one another. You understand? And they became best friends, even though David was set up to take Saul's kingdom. And then furthermore, David showcased honor by not killing Saul, because that's the Lord's anointed, so he wouldn't touch him. That's honor, man. Even though Saul wanted to kill David. Do you know how much honor you got to have not to put your hands on somebody that put their hands on you? Y'all ain't got that, man. Hey, we ain't got that. A lot of us ain't got that. You know what I'm saying? But that's what we have to have, because Esau wants to put his hands on us heavily. Esau want to put his hands on us, but we can't put our hands on that devil. Hey, point being, he kick open the door, he come in, I'ma just get down and lay down. I'ma lay down, put my arms behind my back. All right? That's it. If that happens, if that comes to be, I'm going to get down, put my arms around my back. As the brother said, we have to have patience. You can't have that instinct to go and grab your thing and then shoot it out with FEMA, with ICE. That's not the right way. That's not the correct way. I just watched a movie called The 24th. It's about this 24th regiment of Negroes, Israelites, during World War I. And they took it upon themselves basically to fight the city, because the city was extremely racist. But if you watch the movie in the spirit, then they was wrong, man. They shouldn't have did that. All right? It's a good movie. It's on Amazon Prime. They shouldn't have did what they did. because that was entirely wrong. You know? So it's going back to us being carnal. This is not the times to bear arms and be carnal. It's called the 24th. Matter, I'll pull it up for you. It's a good ass movie too. I'll pull it up. Right here, the 24th. All right, it's got a good little cast. You know what I'm saying? A lot of Jakes up in that thing. You know. The 24th. And I watched it on Amazon Prime. It's free on Amazon Prime. All right. And it's true story too. True story. All right. True story. 1917 in Houston. You know. But it's you watching it and you're gonna see that they were wrong in what they did. Because at this point in time, we was what? We was dead. We didn't have no understanding. So we was just doing whatever. They was just moving off of, hey, nah, fuck that. I'm a soldier. And they being racist to me, I need some respect. You didn't have no respect, man. This is in the height of Esau's kingdom. 1917? Come on, man. You 40 years, damn near 40, 50 years removed from slavery. All right, Esau's still in that mindset of you a slave. So he ain't fucking with you like that. Okay? All right, let's keep it going, man. I'm trying to wrap this up. All right? And that's furthermore showing you it's no honor between Esau in that time. He don't care. Verse 9. For he heard and observed thee, and when time cometh, he will hate thee. If thou hast heard a word, let it die with thee, and be bold, it will not burst thee. You keeping you're not revealing somebody's secrets in the time of death or things of that nature. You're being a real man. If that wasn't your secret to tell, bro, that wasn't your business, then don't be no damn busybody and go forth. Unless it pertains to something like in the law, you know what I'm saying? You know, you gotta be a real friend. Because somebody confiding in you, that's them putting their trust in you. Okay? And that's a form of love. Trust, it's like they're loving you. They're giving you a form of love. And look at Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. He has trusted us with this truth that we can do it the proper way and the correct way. We've been given love. We've been given a form of trust. Not many have been given this. So don't be in that spirit of, man, I don't know if Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi dealing with me. He dealing with you just off the fact that you understand these scriptures, man. Point blank period, bro. He dealing with you off that fact. He loves you. Verse 11, a fool travaileth with a word as a woman in labor of a child. A fool yelling, telling everybody. Telling like Ezel on Friday. Smokey back here taking the shit. Right? He telling everybody. That's how a fool is. As an arrow that sticketh in a man's thigh, so is a word within a fool's belly. Admonish a friend, it may be he hath not done it, and if he have done it, that he do it no more. Now let's get the word admonish. Admonish means to warn or reprimand someone firmly, but usually with gentle or helpful intentions. It means to caution against a fault, urge someone to do the right thing or correct behavior to prevent future mistakes. You know, hey, picking on the brother again, I do this to Yahawah a lot, right? I tell that brother, you need to study some more. You know, I do this to every brother, though. And that's what I'm saying, bro. Don't think I'll be picking on you. I pick on everybody. That's my personality, man. But that's a form of love, though. Like, I pick on Kakama a lot. You know, he pick on me. That's love. We pick on Kawam a lot. He pick on us. It's love. So it's just that. It's that point of it's like we accept you or we consider you in this brotherhood because we mess with you like that. You know? So it's beautiful. Right? So we admonish each other because we want each other to do better. So we push each other. We exhort one another. Right? Verse 14, admonish thy friend, it may be he hath not said it, and if he have, that he speak it not again. You know, you correct a brother, and don't say that, bro. I'm glad you ain't do no lesson on that. That would have been going off. This is why you got the brotherhood. Exactly. We humble enough to adhere to admonishments. Perfect. Accountability, adhering, taking it in, listening. Right? You know, you got to be open, especially to a brother that's teaching and preaching and going forth and, laboring. Hey, calling upon the names, you listening, man. 15, admonish a friend for many times. It is a slander, and believe not every tale. There is one that slippeth in his speech, but not from his heart. And who is he that hath not offended with his tongue? A slip of the tongue, it may be an accident that you said something. Those things come. With this flesh, that definitely happens. You know what I'm saying? Brother said, I got stage fright. Man, what? No, nah, bro. You better start, Amana Wa'ala, man. That's your next level, man. To do lessons. All right? And I promise you start doing lessons, you're going to get more comfortable. Like I said yesterday in the lesson, when I went out on the streets, I was terrified. I was scared the first time. All right? Now, the second time, I got a little better. The third time, I got a little better. Now, I know it like the back of my hand. Right? So, you're never going to get good at something if you don't step into it. You gotta go forth and put your best foot forward. You know what I'm saying? I used to rap and perform on stage. I was scared to get out there on the stage. I'm thinking, I'm gonna forget my lyrics. I'm a boom, boom, boom. Et cetera, et cetera. But I went out there and I had a great time. Okay? You said I did a video last year. I couldn't post it because I stutter when I'm not. So what? You got brothers that post and they stutter and whatever. Man, as long as it's edifying. All right? Stop all those little excuses. You know what I'm saying? Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi made you how you are. Okay? So, you stuck. You trapped. You in this body. You in these chains of darkness. You know what I'm saying? But once you begin to make lessons, like the brother Dev, you started making lessons, you can't just put down the plow. You got to continue. So if you started, that's for life. You got to continue. All right, so let's wrap it up, man. We almost done. Where was we at? We at 16? There is one, we at 17. Admonish thy neighbor before thou threaten him, and not being angry, give place to the law of the Most High Yahawah. So patience, being able to counsel, you're taking steps, right? So you're not just rebuking harsh in the first place, but you're coming, in a sense of understanding way to come at them, right? I done felt that from the elders, and then I done got cussed out before. I done felt the stages of that. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. I've seen it, and I know how it is, and I've given it. So it is what it is. So it's just all through the spirit. What you and you can't really say that you don't deserve it, because even if you write in something, and let's say it was misconstrued, it was miscommunication or whatever, you still deserve rebuke. We all deserve rebuke. We all deserve correction. And some stuff you just gotta suffer righteously. You just gotta suffer, wrongfully. I mean, you gotta suffer regardless if you was right or wrong. You just gotta suffer, and Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi will work it out. All right, last precept. The fear of Yahawah is the first step to be accepted of him, and wisdom obtained of his love. Verse 19, actually. The knowledge of the commandments of Yahawah is the doctrine of life, and they that do these things, and they that do things that please him shall receive the fruit of the tree of immortality. Right? So that fear comes, you going back to Leviticus 19. Let's read that. Let's let that be the last one. Let's read it one more time. Leviticus 19 and, what is it, 2? No, 3. Ye shall fear every man, his mother and his father, and keep my Sabbaths. I am Yahawah your power. So you have a sense of fear for a fellow brother, which is a sense of respect, a sense of love, and a sense of when you're teaching, you want to come correct and proper, and you know that if you go off, that brother is going to be there to correct you. So you put your best foot forward because you know that you're going to have those it's a word, man. Basically those individuals or those steps to catch you and to help you and to build you back up if you mess up. That's why we got the brotherhood. That's why we watch each other's videos. That's why you watch your video before you put it out. That's why you rewatch your videos when they come out, and you check yourself and you improve. Don't let stuttering or you shy or these are all demons that's jumping in your mind and telling you that you can't teach. Amana, you sound just like Moses right now. Said, I'm not good at speech. Nah, man. You can't be moving in that way. Jeremiah said, I'm too young. Right? Okay? So all the prophets was, a lot of prophets was trying to make excuses, etc., etc. But you can't, ultimately, Jonah tried to run away. You understand? Read the scriptures. You got to see yourself in the scriptures. You got to put yourself there. And all this stuff that you said, men said before. Ultimately, you just got to jump past that and you got to walk into it. All right? And brother said all forms of fear, right? Can you rephrase it? I guess Kakama understand it. I ain't really understand it. But hey, that's pretty much it, y'all. I know this lesson ran long, but summarizing it is don't hold no grudges. Right? Grudges ultimately is bitterness, and it burns up and it turns into a bigger demon. It turns into a bigger situation, especially between you and yourself, when an individual may not even be feeling the way that you're feeling. So you wanna get away from presumptuousness, thinking this and thinking that. At the end of the day, nobody's really thinking about you like that. All right? Nobody, don't stop being all in your head. Nobody's really thinking about you like that. All right? So don't hold no grudge, and you expect a brother not to hold no grudge about you. Don't be gossiping. Don't be busybodying. Don't be doing all of that. You expect to get the same, and if somebody's not doing and giving the same, then guess what? Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi will handle all of that. You got to ultimately let Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi handle this type of stuff. You understand? He's going to handle that type of stuff. All right? So, hey, with that being said, giving all praises, honor, and glory be to Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi Bahasham Kakadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of the great millstone as always. And Kwam Yasharahla. Shalawam to the Lord, told elect. Abab Abal. Keep the faith. All right. And keep pushing out lessons. Keep preaching. Keep teaching. Go strong. Work on your flaws. Identify your flaws. And work on them, man. And get better. Shalawam.